Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Once again, welcome to 3 days USX programming session. This is Karan Pandit from India. Please confirm, if you can hear me clearly or not. Thank you, Jemat. Thank you, Wakar. Okay, so guys, let me start the session quickly. Okay, so here today we are going to talk about the remaining programming essentials. So far, we saw how to create a project, like how to download the software by using Lutron, how to activate it by sending an email to customer service team, and then create a project by using proper country name and location. Then once you create the project, you have to create the area tree so that it will be easy for the navigation. The software which we have to use is for older system, it's 15.9, and for latest version, if you have the QSX processor, you have to use 21.7. So whenever you are starting the project, make sure you are uh, downloading as latest software and you are using the latest software for the programming. So that is the thing. Then you created the area tree. Once you create the area tree, you have to create the controls library, add the keypads in respective areas. So we have seen the controls library. Let me just quickly go there. Controls library, by using plus sign, you can add all the keypads. You will see all input devices, then add the keypad in respective area, give the proper name. If you want to change the button style, if you want to change anything, go to view properties, there you can do it. So you added the controls, then quickly we went to loads. So under loads, I explain you the zone name is very important. Okay, load type is very important. And then if you have the shortcuts, like if you have the repetitive lamps, you can edit the fixture type. You can have the fixture type, and you can define the fixture type here. So by using that, you have to add all the loads. So very important that load type should be correct. For phase dimming, it should be a leading or trailing edge. For QSCIO, it's a CCO output. For DMX, it's a DMX 1 channel, 3 channel. For third party shades using motor module, it's a motor 3 wire. So all types of loads you can define here. Then once you define the loads, we went to the shade tab where you can define a Lutron shades here. Then we went to equipment. In electrical panel room, you added all the items and everything. Okay, so somebody has raised the hand. Yeah, Omar, you're on self mute now.
Hi, Karan.
Hi.
I have a question regarding the LQSE 4A5.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, we cannot put any LED switching loads on that.
No, switching is still not permitted directly. It is only a phase dimming loads you can have. The moment you add a switching loads to LQSC, it will automatically add the GRX TVI interface on it. So we don't recommend to use the switching on our module, the phase adaptive module. It's
So
only phase dimming.
it cannot work without adding that extra device at all.
No, it will not. It will work, but it will be dangerous for the module. It there are chances that inside, because we are using a MOSFET inside the module, so it may get damaged. So we only ask you to put a phase dimmable loads on it, phase dimmable mode. But that module is now become very robust. It can handle more LEDs, dimmable LEDs, if you compare the power, and it can handle more inrush current. And once like current is exceeded, it will shut automatically and start after some time. So it is now more robust, but we don't allow the switching on it.
So the 4A5 is specifically for LEDs?
For LEDs, yes, it's the most robust module across the industry. The 400 watts on first zone and remaining 3 zones is 200 watt LEDs. And if you put the incandescent bulb, so 1200 watts on first zone and remaining 3 zones is 800, 800 and 800 watts. So that is the capacity for the phasing.
All right.
Okay, thank
So
you.
in this case, I use the 4S5, right?
4A5. So if you want a switching, then you can use 4S5 or 4S10, like based on the switching type of load. Based on the wattage, you can choose whether you want a 5 ampere switching or whether you want a 10 ampere switching.
Very well. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so so we have added all the equipments in respective area, and once you add the equipments, we assign the loads. We start with a switching 0 to 10 volt and then last phase dimming, and then we assign a load to IO, DMX, motor module. We assign the sensor to the QSM, we assign the power supply to the shades, and then we do the link assignment. We assign the to respective links, link number 1 and link number 2. And if we have the serial number, we put the serial number also. Like if you have the all serial number in place, you can type the serial number. It will help in the activation tab. It will help you in the activation. So that this is how we do. And then we have done the activation. So activation, again I mentioned, you have to match the IP address of the processor with a laptop. Once it is done, here you come and you will choose the Ethernet connection, and then you activate the processor. Okay, so that is the one thing. And uh, if you get the error saying the processor is already activated, then you have to reset the processor by tap, tap, hold and triple tap method. So this is the way how you can reset the processor. Once processor is reset, then you can activate it. So once processor is activated, you can transfer the program, and once program is transferred, then you will activate the devices. So activate the devices, just only one thing you have to remember: you have to press and hold the button and activate the same device on which you have pressed the button. So module should be activated properly, keypad should be activated properly. And if you have the curtains or shades, you can using PC to flash a wiggler drive, and you can activate the shades also. So once activation is done, transfer the program, and finally you can also activate the QSM sensor. So as I mentioned earlier, like one time transfer is mandatory before activating the QSM sensor. So once QSM sensor is activated, we also talk about the programming. So in the programming, we talk about the programming of buttons, where we talk about all types of buttons: single action, toggle, dual action, raise, lower, open, stop, close, stop. We talk about double tap, press and hold. We talk about cycle dim. We talk about the LED logic. And we'll see here, like if you want to control lights, you can go to lights. If you want to control Lutron shades, you can go to shade group. If you want to have motor module third party shades, you can go to motor zone. If you want to control QSCI outputs, then choose the contact closure. And if you want to lock the devices, you can choose here. So you can see the keypads, sensor and the picos, and then remaining thing you can control on it. So that was the things like we have discussed. And we also talk about the fade time and the delay, where you can put the fade time and the delay. So that was the things which was covered yesterday. We also talk about the shared scene, how effectively you can do the programming. And then we also talk about the edit live feature, where you don't have to transfer the program, you simply edit whatever levels you want, and then that changes will take place, and you can monitor that changes easily on the field. Okay, so edit live feature we have seen. If you now today quickly we'll talk about different programmings. So now let me explain you a contact closure programming here, or let me just go to the manual. Let me see what are the things are there. So we talk about this all tabs, programming, single action, toggle, we talk about LED logics, dual action we already talk about. So Dennis has a question: does device need to be connected to always to the internet connection, or it will be working even it is without internet and connected to the laptop or server. See, like if you remove the internet connection, then your keypad will be working, your sensor will be working, your app also will be working. So the only thing will not work will be the Alexa. If you don't have the internet connection, Alexa will not work. And if you have any bug fixes, or if we are doing any patches online, so that will not happen if you don't have the internet connection. So the system will work as normal, like without internet also it is going to work. Okay, so now quickly let me, so the device programming is very much done here, so that is done. So now let me go to the time clocks. So in the time clock, so you can have a project time clock for the lights. So you can see here lights. Okay, click on done, and every project time clock will have multiple events. So you can see here, this is my light time clock, and under line time clock I will adding the multiple events like lights on, or maybe lights off. So I'm having a multiple event under the lights. So I will say here passage lights on, passage on. And then whether you can control the fixed timing or based on the astronomical time clock. So if you want to have the external lights, maybe after sunset you can have, or after sunrise, or before sunrise, at sunset you can control the light on the passage. And then you can choose whatever lights you want to control. So maybe I want to trigger the garden lights, lights around pool, and I want to make their lights on at sunset. Okay, maybe after that I will say passage, the pool lights, lights, external lights, external light, external on, and I will say here it's off, external off. Okay, so I will say here at fixed timing of maybe 12 a.m. So 12 a.m. Lights around pool will be shut off every day. So I will say here lights around pool should be off. So this is kind of time clock events. You can add multiple events under the lights. Then I will add one more time clock. It could be for shades. It could be of shade. So I will have time clocks for shades, like open. And then I will say at morning, at sunrise, my curtain should be open. So I will say here go to shades, go to shade group, and then I can program here the shade open, right? So I can have the time clock events to make the shade open. And then maybe I will add one more event, that shade is closed. So close. And then at sunset I will say my shade should be close. So you can, or you can have the multiple presets like 50%, 80%. So you can have that as well. Okay, so this is the event for shades. Then maybe I can have additional time clock for pull lights, pull pump, or pull pump and spa jet, maybe pull pump and spa jet, or something like one for the pull pump, one for the spa jet. So I let me go to spa jet. Okay, and then I say time clock event on the spa jet on, spa jet on. And then I will say every day spa jet should turn at evening time. So I will say at uh, before uh, before sunset, maybe 1 hour. And then click for done. And then here I have to have the contact closure, and then I will have the spa jet, and then spa jet should be close, right? So in that way you can control the contact closure loads. So here it says how to change the processor timing. So why you want to change the processor timing? First of all, that is my question to you. So just type the answer. By the time I will just explain. So my question to you here is I got a multiple time clocks. Why not one under one time clock? I can have light, shades, everything under one time clock. I am creating multiple time clocks, right? For lights I have one project time clock, for shades I have one time clock, for spa jet I have the additional other time clock. So why I am not having only one time clock and add all events under it? So I am purposely doing it because I want to enable and disable the time clocks events from the app. If you have only one project time clock and all the events, then what will happen? It will be very, very difficult for enabling and disabling the time clock, right? So if you have if you want on the specific days like the sparjet should not work, then you can go to sparjet time clock event and disable the sparjet time clock event. So that is very very important, and that's why I'm having multiple time clocks, one for lights, one for shades, and under that I'm creating multiple events. So that is my logic behind creating a multiple time clocks and not having only one time clocks with multiple events. So that is my logic to it. So this is very good practice to make it. Okay, so here sometimes you are facing in actual so how to change the processor time. So if you go to tools, let me see if you have any commands. Go to terminal and then here go to processor, reboot ring head. No, time clocks. Okay, so what you can do is you can if you want to change the uh, processor timing, change the timing of your laptop. Okay, change the timing of your laptop, and when you transfer the program, what will happen is it will take the timing of your laptop. It will take a system timing. Let me show you here how it will take the effect of that timing, because there is a tab available set. So here you can see backup. Yeah, set the system time to current time and date. So you can see here that option is there. So whenever you put the system timing and you set the set timing, so it will come here, and date and time so you have to change your laptop timings and then you set system time to current time and date, and then it will happen automatically. So it will always take effect of your laptop timing, and in that way you can change the timing of the processor. Okay, so that was the programming for the time clock. So how this is how you can do the programming of the time clocks. So how system will understand, there is a question from Ranjit, how system will understand the success timing according to the climate changes. So it is not on the climate changes. Basically the Lutron has like the software algorithm where we know for next 100 years what is the timing. So there is a software algorithm available, and it will track the sunset timing and sunrise timing. So Lutron know in India 2021 what is the sunset timing, what is the sunrise timing, and that the accuracy is plus minus 1 minute. So that is the accuracy for that time clocks, and based on that we decide the sunset and sunrise. So it is not on the climate changes, like if you have the sudden cloud or sudden rain so system will not able to understand, but the sunset and sunrise timing will tracked by that algorithm which is stored inside the processor. So that is for the light shade, and then we have at the time clocks events. So time clocks events, you can have the water heaters, you can have the spa jet, pool pump, garden lights, the exterior lights, landscape lighting. So those are the loads which can be controlled on the time clocks. You have the passages in the house that can be controlled on the balcony lights, you can have the on the time clock. So plan the time clocks event nicely, and the customer can also add the time clock event from the app. So if client want to add in the future any time clocks events, so that events can be added by using the app from Lutron. Okay, now if you want to enable and disable the time clocks, let's imagine from like you don't want to, like you want to disable complete time clocks. So what you can do, you can go to device, and let's imagine I have this button for enabling and disabling the time clock. So you will simply say time clocks, time clock, and here you can go to time clock events, and now you can enable and disable the time clock. So if you want to enable disable the lights, you can choose enable and disable, or you can have enable and rush event, enable or run previous event, disable or disable until end of the day. So there are different options which you can try, and you can also enable and disable. So if you have the lighting, so this is how based on the keypad you can enable and disable the time clocks event here. Now I got the occupancy, this device is done, time clock is done. Now let me go to the occupancy. Now occupancy sensors, we have, so basically you can control that. So if you go to areas, so in the washroom I got one sensor. Okay, so whenever you have the occupancy sensor, you can have the sensor timing, additional timeout setting. If you program the sensor as occupancy, you can turn on the lights like occupied level on and unoccupied level go to off level, right? So simple timing. And on the sensor itself there are like timings like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 30 minutes. These are the four setting available on our Lutron sensor: 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 and 30. If you want 8 minutes or 7 minutes, what you can do is you can also add here additional timeout sensor, right? So for example, you want 7 minutes, so put the timeouts on the sensor 5 minutes, and here you can put the additional timeout of 2 minutes. So 5 plus 2 becomes 7, and now the lights will go off after 7 minutes. So this is how the additional sensor timeout will happen. You can program the sensor in occupancy mode. Okay, and if you don't want occupancy mode, you can also program the sensor in the vacancy mode. So in the vacancy mode, sensor will only act when it will go to unoccupied level. You can see here, if I'm putting as a occupancy, then it will give you option like occupied what to do and unoccupied what to do. But when you use the as a vacancy mode, in this case sensor will only react when room is getting occupied unoccupied. It will not do anything when room is occupied, when you come inside the room. So you can program only one action, which is unoccupied, in the vacancy mode. So this is how the sensor can be operated in the occupancy mode and the vacancy mode. Okay, so that is what the one thing. uh so what will what if, like, if somebody wants to if somebody. So what if somebody uh, wants to disable the sensor. Somebody wants to disable the sensor during daytime, and the night time you want to enable the sensor. So how to do that? So here I will go to time clocks. Here at the events called occupancy. At the event, okay, so just a minute. Okay, so if you want to disable the sensor, like let me go to the occupancy. If you want to disable the sensor, what you have to do is what you have to simply create a variable. Okay, so imagine I want to disable the sensor during daytime, and nighttime it should be activated, right? So for that I will just simply add a variable called time. So I will just add a event called time of the day variable. Okay, and then I will create a two state. One is called as day and one is called as night. I have two states now. One is called day and night. And now I have created two variable, time of the day and having two state, day and night. Now I will go to occupancy. Okay, and now under occupancy what I will do is I will simply use this is as a occupancy mode, and instead of normal programming I will choose the variable based programming, and I will put here time of the day. The moment you put a time of the day, you will see here I got two state, day and night. So daytime, if sensor is occupied, I will say light should be unaffected. Okay, and even if it is unoccupied, I will say here light should be unaffected. Okay, so now the sensor is totally disabled because both actions are unaffected. Daytime occupied also and unoccupied also. Night time, I will say whenever sensor is occupied, make it 100%, and under unoccupied state, make it 0%, right? So basically what I'm trying to do is here, I'm having daytime and nighttime, daytime and nighttime, and daytime I will say both as unaffected, and nighttime I will say here lights on and then lights off. Then what I have to do is I need to tell the processor that what is day and what is night. Okay, so what I will do, I will just link this variable with a time clock. So I will go to time clock. Okay, and now I will create one more event. I will simply create one time clock like a variable state activate variable state. Okay, and here first state is called day. It's day. I will say it's day, and day will always start at sunrise, so I will say at sunrise. Okay, so at sunrise what I want to do, I want to activate the variable. So here I will come to variable and I will tell the system that variable is day. So what will happen every morning, at every sunrise, my my state will be activated as a day. Now I will add one more, it's night, and night will start at sunset. And here what I will do is I will tell the system that it's night now. So sunset, at every sunset, the night variable becomes active, and at every at sunrise, at the time of sunrise, my day variable is active. So whenever day is active, day programming will be executed, and when there is a night, the night programming will be executed. So this is how you can do the enable and disable of the sensor, right? So daytime the sensor will be enabled, and nighttime the sensor will be sorry, daytime sensor will be disabled, and nighttime sensor will be enabled. So this is very simple programming which can utilize for the day and night. Similarly, you can go to another occupancy sensor if you have. So if you see here, I have the sensor in the garage, same programming, daytime. You can see here, go to variable time of the day. So daytime I will say garage lights unaffected, and unoccupied also, the light should be unaffected here. And the night time you can see here garage lights on, and unoccupied you can put a garage lights off. So this is how the programming of variable can be done. Okay, so it's very simple programming. Same concept can be utilized for the pico. Let me tell you how. So if I have the pico button, I will go to controls, and imagine I got a, in the washroom, let me add one pico, right? So let me add a pico here. So it's my washroom pico, and this pico I will choose as a maybe like a 2 button without raise lower. Okay, so it's a 2 button pico, and that pico without raise lower. Okay, okay, so now what I want on this pico, if you are go to programming, my task is on this pico, a washroom pico. If you press the button during daytime, the light should go to 50%, and the same button if you press during night time, light should go to 100%. Okay, what I will do, simple, again go to lighting zone. I will choose a single action, program type should be variable time of the day. Okay, so daytime you press the button, I will say lights go to 50, lights go to 50%. The same button you press during night time, I will say lights go to 100%. That's it. And then this is my off button, so I will say here washroom lights off. So it's very simple programming. You press during daytime, go to 50%, and then if you press during night time, it will go to 100%. And then if you press but off button, then lights will always go to 0%. So this is very simple programming, can be used for anything, anywhere you can work, and this is a very nice feature, and we use this feature a lot. And then you have to only define one time that what is day and what is night, and then accordingly you can utilize this option. It's very useful options, and I would recommend to use this again and again for your all projects. Okay. uh, Similarly, what you can do is you can also have another like time clocks saying day and night and midnight also, because daytime I want some other light, nighttime I want some other lights, and midnight I want other lights. So you can also have multiple state, maybe one state or two state or three state, and you can utilize this same thing. Similarly, again, let me give you one more example for variable based programming. So let's imagine in the hall I got a welcome scene. Okay, so welcome scene, I will say just clear the programming. Let me clear the programming. This is my welcome scene. So during daytime I will say go to single variable time of the day. I say during daytime my welcome scene is lights on and my curtains open. Like, so here I will say go to shade motor group, and my bedroom curtain should be open. So that is my welcome scene for the day. Okay, and the night time, same welcome scene. What I will do, curtain is unaffected, so if it is open it will remain open, it is closed it will remain closed. And then for lights, again I will make it as a 100% for hall. So welcome scene during daytime it will control the lights and shade both, and when the same button you press during night time it will only affect the lights and the curtain will remain unaffected. So this is how you can have the welcome scene which is on the based on the variable. So I hope this point is now very clear to you. So this is very useful feature. Try to use this feature as much as you can for your all projects. So device, time clocks, occupancy is done. Let me go to the thermostat is okay, like sensor is also okay, fine. Shared since we already done. Now let me quickly jump to if any topic here is, let me see, the time clock is done. Sparjet, okay. Okay, let me talk about the contact closure programming. Okay, contact closure inputs. So can anybody tell me what are the devices which can handle contact closure input? So Jihad, what are the devices which can handle the contact closure input? Can you tell me please? Jihad,
Yeah, yeah.
what are
Hello.
the devices which can handle the contact closure inputs?
Again, what's the questions?
What are the devices which can handle the contact closure inputs? Contact closure
Okay,
inputs.
first device is IO.
IO, okay. QSC IO can handle inputs, okay.
Yes, and there is the keypad. The
Okay,
4S, I think the 4S switching module can handle contact closure.
okay, okay.
And there's another device which I don't recall it now. I think it's I think it is like a wallbox closure interface.
Right, right, that's right. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for the answer. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome.
So okay, so we got multiple devices. So first of all, the keypad, the C touch keypad has got two number of contact closure inputs. So you can see here input number one is 25 with ID and input number two. So you can program that. You can physically connect the contact closure switches or maybe anything, the third party sensor, and you can program whenever this is single action, whenever it is closed, what to happen. Then you can also program uh, it is act as a toggle on level, off level. You can also program the dual action, like when it is permanently closed what to do, and whenever it is open what to do. So single action toggle, you can do the contact closure signal. So simple, it's very very simple that the C touch keypad, you can physically have that. So there's a question, Mahmood, can we have the light switching module work as a contact closure? Okay, so for what purpose you want to use that? Let me just unmute him and ask the logic behind that. Yeah, Mahmood, you are on self mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, Karan.
Hi.
In case I'm having the panels installed with those light control modules, and I have, let's say, in the future, the client requested to have some fans to be open and closed during the scene. Can I have this fans, like the bathroom fans, to open or close with the scene?
So fan is basically like it is on a contact closure, or it is high voltage fan?
It's a high voltage fan. It's the regular fans.
It's a regular fan. So the fan wattages, I will limit myself to 200 watts, and I will use a 10 ampere switching module for switching of the fans. So 200 watts maximum, and the 10 ampere module I will recommend to use. So you can use on and off. You can use for the fans switching. You can do like on and off by using 10 ampere module up to 200 watts of fan.
Okay. And what about now? We're talking mostly about the C-touch keypad. What if you're using the Palladium keypads? The Palladium keypads, I'm not sure if they have the contact closure.
They don't have the contact closure. So if I go to the bedroom, so if I go to the, let me go to the hall, and if I go to the Palladium keypad, and you can see here there is no contact closure, like, so it is only having the buttons. But the same area, if I go to the C-touch keypad, you can see here I have the two option called buttons, and there is an option for CCI. So C-touch keypad has got two inputs, but Palladium don't have any contact closure input signal. So you cannot program anything on that Palladium on contact closure.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so thank you very much for the question. So for fans, like you can definitely you can on and off the fan by using 10 ampere switching module. So LQSC 4S10D you have to use for switching of fan, and remember the wattage limited is 200 watts per fan. You cannot have 2000 watts fan on switching module. 200 is the maximum power we allowed, because fan draw very high inrush current during starting, and that's why 200 watt is the maximum wattage which we support on the fan. So that was the things for this. So this is how we can program the contact closure. Now there is one more device called WCI. So let me add, go to the controls, go to toolbox, and here go to WCI. So this is a wall box contact closure input, and let me add one in the washroom, or maybe any area you can add. And now let's see how it look like for the programming. So if you go to programming, you go to device, and now let me go to the washroom and choose this WCI. Now this WCI has got 8 number of inputs, so it's a physically you can connect 8 number of switches. The good part about this is every button can be used for single action, can be used for toggle, dual action, raise, lower, open stop, close stop, double tap, press and hold, cycle dim, everything. So it is, this WCI is as good as a Palladium keypad, but you don't have any switches here. You have to use a third party switches. Okay, so use any third party switches, and you will be able to program single action, toggle, double tap, press and hold, cycle dim. So on single button you can do multiple actions. So this is very very useful for integrating the third party switches. So that is the difference between C-touch input and WCI input. So if you see the C-touch keypad, okay, if you see the C-touch keypad, on C-touch keypad you can program single action and toggle, that's it. There is no double tap, there is no press and hold on this contact closure input. But when you go to WCI, you will have the additional option of double tap, press and hold, and dual action also, right? So this is a difference between WCI input and the C-touch input. Similarly, we also have a contact closure inputs on QSCIO. Okay, so if you go to program device, and if you go to electrical panel room, I got a contact closure inputs of the QSCI. So these inputs can be programmed for the single action, toggle, dual action, but it cannot be programmed for double tap. It cannot be used for press and hold. So that is the difference between QSCI inputs and the WCI inputs. So these are the devices which has got contact closure inputs. So one is a QSCIO. So go to program, and whichever area you got a QSCIO, you have to choose here, and you can program that. For uh, for WCI, you have to go to respective area. So go to program, device, and wherever you are keeping the WCI, you can go to that area and you can program the inputs for WCI. And for C touch, you have to go to the keypad, and now go to keypad and choose a option called CCI. And now here you can program the contact closure inputs. So there are three methods of programming the contact closure input signal of the Lutron. These are the inputs. So I hope this point is clear. Contact closure inputs. Okay, let me go to the next one. So programming is done. Contact closure inputs. So let me show you some practical programming. Let's suppose I got a file alarm. Okay, so file alarm on, so whatever two wires of file alarm system, I will simply terminate on the contact closure input number one. And whenever there is a fire, what I can do is I will turn off the HVAC, I will turn on the exhaust system, I will turn on some lights, I will clear the passages, I will open the shades. So these are the action which I'm going to take when file alarm triggers. So you can program here, maybe you can have a dual action, or maybe you have a single action, and then you can do whatever you want under the file alarm. Whenever the security system trigger, security, what I can do is under security system, I will make all the lights to go to 100%. Okay, and some lights I can do the flashing, so I can go to maybe a different area like garden lights. Okay, and these lights I will do the flashing, so it will give you the emergency situation. And at the same time, I can also program go to device, and then I will lock all the device, so that nobody can turn on the so this is a hall entry keypad, so I will accept the hall keypad. I will I will make all the device as lock. Okay, so nobody can turn off the lights, so lights will go to 100%, and then I will lock the device, so it will not nobody can turn off the lights from the keypads. Okay, so this I can do. And then whenever the alarm, the security system reset, I will say go to unlock position, and then I will unlock the devices, and lights will go to the restored level or whatever. So this is how I can lock unlock by using the security system. And then we also have the file alarm system. Okay, so Taha says we can use this for door contact. So HVC will not work if balcony is open. So this is very nice example. So if your door contact, so definitely this is also possible. So in that case, maybe what I can do is I can have the controls, go to loads. Let me go to hall area. Let me create one HVC zone. Okay, so Mahmoud says, can you explain more about the file alarm? Once this is triggered and the action are done, example lights on, how it reset. Okay, so it's very easy here. So if you have the fire alarm, so fire alarm, what will happen? It should be a dual action. So what happened whenever uh, uh, whenever so whenever your so I will program this contact closure input. Sorry, let me go to that keypad, CCI. Okay, so fire alarm. So now I will program as a dual action. So what will happen whenever there is a fire, the contact becomes close. Okay, contact will becomes close. So whenever contact is close, you will do some sets of action. Now the moment fire alarm is reset, the moment fire alarm is reset, this will go to the open state. And now the moment it is open state, what will happen? You can do the sets of the action. So this is for the setting of the fire alarm, and this is for the resetting of the fire alarm. So if it is a contact, if it is a maintain contact, then you can program close and open action. So this is set and this is called reset. So this is how you can do this thing. So it the Jayaprakash Deva, how to control the Kelvin level of tunable lights. Okay, so it's okay, so tunable lights. So let me just quickly explain you here tunable, about the tunable lights. So let me go to the paint. Okay, so tunable lights, for example, you got this a DALI module. So for we have to have a DALI universal module. So DALI universal module. Okay, and we need a type 8 driver. So this is my color tunable driver of DALI type 8. Okay, and these drivers will be connected to my module. Okay, so you can have total on one module, you can have 64 plus 64 drivers on bus number 1, and you can have a 64 drivers on bus number 2. So you got two bus, 64 drivers, and all drivers will be connected together to DALI module, right? So this is and the load type you are going to define is DALI type 8 CCI. So let me show you here. Go to design. Let me go to the electrical panel room, and here let me define the zone. So I will have a row number 1. So this is my row 1. The load type I'm going to use here is DALI intensity and CCD. This is the load type for your color tuning fixtures. Let's suppose wattage is 10, fixture wattage is 10, and imagine you got a three lights of in 3 lights together in row number 1. So right click, duplicate load, and put the quantity as 2 here. So now I got row number 1 with 3 lights. So this is my one zone, and there are 3 lights. Okay, and for controlling these 3 lights, we need a DALI module. So go to equipments and go to toolbox and add a universal DALI module. You have to add a universal DALI module. So choose the DALI module, and right hand side you have to choose LQSC2 universal DALI D. So this is a universal module you have to add. Okay, and now let me quickly add this DALI module in my bill of material, right? So here I'm adding the DALI module. So I will assign these lights to loop number 1. So you can see here I got 3 lights connected to it, and click on assign, right? So now lights are assigned to this module, and let me assign this module to my processor link, right? So I'm just assigning this to my link. Now when you go to programming, of keypads, under the DALI zone, under zoning, you can go to electrical panel room, and here you will see a row number 1, right? So now I can see here, when you click that, you have both things. You have the intensity and you have the color temperature. So you will get a color temperature and you will get the so in this way you can do the programming for the color tuning fixture. You can choose the level, whatever level you want, and at the same time you can also choose the color, what color you want, whether you want warm color, cool color. So the same thing will also appear on the Lutron app. So I hope, Jayaprakash, this is clear to you how these tunable fixtures can be controlled, what should be the load type, and what is the module required, how to assign the loads, and then how to create that. And then there is a question from Ramesh. Can we control the motorized gates? So definitely yes. Motorized gates is basically a third party, and for that we have to have a motor 3-wire load. So choose a load type as motor 3-wire, and then you will be able to control the motorized gate. So if it is a high voltage, then so the example from Miraj, how many DALI addresses will be single driver? So every driver, every tunable driver, type A driver will take only one address. So this will take only one address. So in that way, DALI type A driver, you can have 64 drivers here. For color and lights, both will take only one address. So 64 drivers here, 64 drivers here. So total 128 drivers you can have, and those lights can be controlled in 128 zones. So 128 lights, 128 zones. So let me show you here quickly, because if you see the DALI module, now you can see here 64 lights and 64 zones. So every fixture can be a one zone, and you can dim it in the nice fashion. So every light is one zone now for universal module. So there is question. I have a project with all loads as a DALI and only chandelier as a non-DALI. So the only way I can now differentiate is with naming circuits, which I mean you not add the loads in the room, not in the no, I didn't get your question. Let me just unmute quickly. You can, so for timing I have taken the example as electrical panel room, because you can add the DALI loads in every room. So if you go to loads, so loads can be added anywhere, like you can add the chandelier, you can add a DALI loads here. So right, let's suppose I got a row number 2, and here I can simply choose the load type as LED DALI intensity, and then so I can add the DALI loads anywhere, like there is no problem, and you can control it without any problem. So there is no limitation. You can define the DALI loads anywhere. Okay. So how we can program the light to change its color temperature automatically? Okay. So so there are two types of programming I typically preferred for color tuning. Let me show you how. So if you want to only let's imagine, let me clear that programming here, clear device. Now if I want to only change the temperature, so for example I want here warm, this is cool. There are two temperature I want, warm and cool. So what I can do is, on this button I will go to warm. So I will go to that light, electrical panel room light, choose the light here, choose the warm color, which is 3000 Kelvin. Okay, this is my warm color, and here what I will do for the light intensity, I will simply say unaffected. Okay, so now when I press the button, the color temperature becomes light intensity is unaffected, and they just go to 3000 Kelvin. For cool color, what I can do, again same thing, light level, I will say here as single action, light level unaffected, and here I will choose the temperature as 5000 Kelvin. Okay, so now that is my cool color, that is my cool color, and that is my warm color, but light intensity is unaffected. Okay, in that way you can do. Okay, so there is a question how I can readdress one DALI module later, in that case becomes faulty or replace. So it's very easy. Go to activate tab if you want to replace the DALI driver. Simply what you can do is you can go to module, you can simply change the serial number here. So just so for example, for I have the phase dimming module 1, so instead of DALI you will just delete that number and put the new serial number and reactivate the DALI module. That's it. So this is how you can replace the DALI module by changing the this thing. So you can simply change the serial number, and in that way you can readdress the DALI module, the faulty DALI module. Okay, so let me go to another questions. Okay, so how we can program. Okay, so okay, for the DALI, what you have to do is, because DALI will take little bit more time, I will show you the place where you can go, because I don't have the DALI module with me. Let me show you the place where you can see the DALI programming in detail. Okay, so go to your LCI platform, Lutron LCI account, where it's the free of cost. So let me go to that profile, Lighting Control Institute. If you go to this LCI profile, which is your Docebe platform, you can simply log in inside that, and I have pasted here a programming for the DALI module. I have just pasted a programming for the DALI module here. Okay, so you can go to skill development, and under skill development there's a tab called homeworks. That is a tab called homeworks. Under this you can go to a DALI programming. So DALI in the homeworks. Okay, DALI and advanced DALI, in these two topics it is explained how to address, how to program the DALI system, how to replace the driver, how to activate the drivers. Every question will be answered in these two topics, DALI in the homeworks and homeworks QS DALI advanced. These are the two audio video modules which I have pasted here. It's one will take 45 minutes, other will take 30 minutes. So just go through it and your all question will be answered in these two. Okay, so that was for the DALI. Let me see any other questions are there. Okay, so Jawad was asking like how we can program the lights to change its color temperature automatically. Okay, so in that way what you can do is you can have the time clock events. So go to program, go to time clocks, and create a multiple time clocks event. So maybe you can see here, add a time clock event called color tuning. So COLOUR color tuning, And here what you can do is you can have multiple events, maybe for 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock. And here based on the timing you can choose the light level here, like based on the lighting zone, go to your that color tuning area, and then choose the color temperature. You can have the fade time for color temperature, you can have the fade time for the light. So different fade times can be there. And this, once your time clock is created, the smoothly the transition will happen from warm to cold based on the time clock event. So this is how we can do the color tuning automatically in the desired spaces. Similarly, the same thing which I explained earlier, you can have a welcome scene. Okay, and the welcome scene during daytime can be you can choose the programming type as a single variable, time of the day. So if it is a daytime, I will go to my electrical panel room area, and I will say color temperature should be if it is a daytime, I will say it is a cool color, it should be 5000 during daytime. Okay, and the same button if you press during night time, I will say I want a color temperature of warm. So daytime you press the button, it's a warm cool color, and night time you press the button, it's a warm color. So this is another way of programming that variable, and very useful feature for this. So this is how we can do the programming for that. Any other question? Let me quickly see here. Okay, so Wakar, if you want to change the speed, how we should do it? Okay, so somebody has raised the hand. Before that, let me just see who has raised the hand. Mr. Rahman, yeah, you're on self mute now.
सर
Yeah, please go ahead.
मतलब जैसे कि आपने ये एक्टिव बनाया कि हर वीकली, तो मुझे ऐसे करना है कि मुझे फ्राइडे मतलब वो सीन नहीं चाहिए, जैसे कि मंडे से संडे तक आपने वीकली बनाया सीन, मतलब वेलकम हो गया कुछ ऐसा, मुझे फ्राइडे वो सीन नहीं चाहिए, उसको मैं अनक्लिक कर सकते हैं?
मतलब आपको सीन क्या चाहिए? फ्राइडे को नहीं चाहिए, कब चाहिए फिर वो सीन?
ओनली फ्राइडे को नहीं चाहिए, बाकी सब डे को चाहिए। जैसे आपने अभी ऐसे सीन बनाया, मतलब वेलकम सीन बनाया, जैसे कि डे का बनाया, तो मुझे फ्राइडे का वो सीन नहीं चाहिए, तो फ्राइडे को मैं अनक्लिक कर सकते हैं?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, फ्राइडे यहाँ पे जो टाइम जो वॉट एवर जो काम हो रहा है वो डे हिसाब से हो रहा है, डे नाइट, तो फ्राइडे यहाँ पे नहीं आएगा। फ्राइडे नहीं नहीं, ये फ्राइडे ऐसा नहीं होगा, फ्राइडे की वो सीन ना, ऐसा नहीं होगा।
ओके सर,
ऐसा नहीं हो पाएगा।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
Okay, so that was the thing for the programming. Let me just see now here. So we talk about the contact closure input programmings, that is clear now. We talk about the DALI color tuning things. So let me just quickly explain about the how you can create the multiple circuits in the DALI. So for example, in the electrical panel room, I got 3 zones. So I have row number 1, row number 2. Row number 2 also have got maybe 2 lights. So I will say right click, duplicate load, and put the quantity as 2. Sorry, 1. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2 lights. So now these 2 lights will operate together. Here in the row 1, you have 3 lights together. Now you also have like row number 3 where you have 5 lights of DALI together. So here you will put the load type, right click, duplicate load, and put the quantity as 4. So 4 plus 1 becomes 5. So 5 lights will work together. So this is how you can create the zoning. You are basically creating the zoning. So once you create a zone, all 3 lights will operate together. In row number 2, 2 lights will work together, and row number 3, 5 lights will work together. So this is how you can create the multiple circuits in the DALI. All lights are connected together via 2 core wire, but physically they are in the different, right? So Yakub Molla has asked the question, for wired sensor, do we require a QSM or not? So wired sensor, so if you see here under control tab, you have a sensor in the garage, right? So this garage sensor I can assign to the QSM, a wired QSM, or I can also assign this sensor to QSCIO. So if I go to equipments, and if I go to electrical panel room, so under the QSCIO, if you choose the inputs, I can assign this sensor to QSCIO inputs. So that is the first way of assigning the sensor to the contact closure inputs. Okay, so that is the first way of assigning the sensor, or you can assign the sensor to wired QSM. So two methods are there for assigning the sensor here. So can we replace the homeworks processor to Athena? Answer is no, because you have to replace the module also, because Athena modules will start with the QSNE and the homeworks module will start with from the LQSE. So if you replace the processor, you have to replace the module also. So the answer is no. You cannot replace the the homeworks processor with Athena processor, because in that case you also have to replace the all the modules, which is very costly affair then. Yeah, Vishal, please ask your question. Vishal, are you there? Vishal, can you hear me? Okay, somebody here asked about the fan. Okay, so let me quickly explain about the fan. So for fan, like I got first of all, fan is controlled by the switching module. So the 10 ampere switching module LQSC 4S10D, so 10 ampere switching module. And here I have the 4 outputs. So I need a third party capacitive fan regulator. So that is my fan controller. So I will have 2 outputs, number 1 and number 2 is connected to third party fan controller. And from here it will go to the fan. So this is my third party fan, which is a high voltage AC motor fan. And now this will go to the neutral. Okay, so this will go to the neutral. Okay, so now I have output number 1. This is output number 1, and you have the output number 2, and this is my fan control from third party. Like, and now what happened, so I have load number 1. So here what I'm going to do is, under the loads, let's suppose I have the fan, I have the fan in my bedroom. Okay, so I will put here as a fan 1. Load type should be motor switched. And here I will put a, or maybe I can put here low speed, or maybe fan 1 and 2. Okay, and here also I will put a motor switched. Okay, and now what I can do is I can create a sequence. So for example, if I go to program, I will create a sequence, and here I will put a fan 1 or fan 1 speed. So I will use a manual sequence. So it's a low speed, control A, my low speed. Low speed is basically, so whenever your first zone is on, you have the low speed. So on first speed, the first is on, second is off. That is my first speed. In the medium speed, medium speed, my fan 2 is on and my first zone is off. That is my second speed. And my third speed is, I will add one more step, which is full speed. So in this case, both output should be on. So for low speed is first zone on, second zone off. Medium speed is second zone on, first zone is off, and third speed is both zone on, becomes your full speed. So this is how I will do. And then what I will do on the keypad, and here I will say on the low speed, I will say it is a blink or maybe on. Medium speed, I will say a blink, and then and full speed I will say as a rapid blink. Okay, I will full speed, I will say here as a rapid blink. So these are the feedback. And now I will simply go to device. I use a button called fan speed, and now here under the sequence I will come to sequence and I will put as a single action, and here I will say here fan speed and sequence start and next. So if you press 1, it will go to low speed, medium speed, and high speed. And here the LED logic should be it defined by sequence. And now on maybe press and hold or double tap, I will simply say fan will go to let me just create a one more step called fan stop. Or maybe here I can simply say press on start and next, and maybe on double tap here I will simply go to lighting zone, and I will make both both zone as off. So the fan will go to stop position. So if you have the double tap, both zones become off, so fan will go to this speed here. Okay, so press on, it will go to start and next, and in double tap I will say both zones are getting off, so fan will go to the stop level. Okay, so this is low, medium, high speed will happen here. So Divakar has a question. I have 20 lights in one loop, but I want to control separately 10 lights. How do I make a separate zone to control? It's very simple here. I already mentioned, you go to loads. You got 20 lights. So now imagine you have 20 lights in the pool. So you want to define 20 lights. I will say here row number 1. Okay. So you have 20 lights, right? So I will say, and in the row number 1, you want to control only 5 lights together. So I will right click, duplicate load, 5 lights. I will put as a 5, sorry, 4. So 4 plus 1 becomes 5. So this 5 lights will work together now. Now I have row number 2. Now here it has got only one light. So I will say simply this light. So let me just change the load type to DALI, LED DALI. If you have the normal LED DALI, you can choose the normal LED DALI. And this is also LED DALI. So I got 2 second lights, and then now row number 3. So now row number 3 has got 2 lights. Imagine I want to control 2 lights together. So I will see here, right click, duplicate load, and I will put as 1, and then here. So now you can keep adding. So this is 5 plus 6, 6 plus 2, 8. Now you can keep adding, and now the row number 1 will operate together, row number 2 will operate together, row number 3 will operate together. So this is a circuit basically you're doing. This is a circuit what you are doing basically. How designer know how about low speed, medium speed? How designer will know how speed? So okay, so designer, so here if you see on the fan control, clearly mentioned it's a low speed wire. It's a low speed wire. So on the fan control, you have the low speed wire, you have the medium speed wire, and there is a third spare wire also. There are 3 wires on the fan controller. Okay, so there is a spare speed. So whichever wire you are getting the best speed, so those two wires you have to use, and programmer will easily come to know like which is a medium speed, which is low speed, and then accordingly he can do the connection. And user will understand from the feedback, because if you see here under the programming, whenever fan is running at low speed, your light will on. Whenever fan is running at medium speed, this light, the feedback LED will blink, and whenever fan is running at high speed, this will do the rapid blink. So this is how the user will understand whether fan is running at low speed, medium speed, or high speed. This is the feedback. It will keep blinking. It will keep blinking. So if you want to have a feedback, it will be keep blinking. Or if you don't want that, you can, if that blinking is not liked by a user, you can also define momentary on when pressed. So he will make sure you press the button. So in that way you will not able to understand the speed, but the user will make sure the button is pressed. So over the period, when you start using the fan, he will be very comfortable to understanding what speed it is running, and he can take a decision whether he want to increase the speed or make the speed off. You can also do fan or raise or lower button. So one button can be a fan raise and one can be a lower. And in that case, what you can do is, if you can program the sequence like this. Okay, you can have a sequence like this. So start or next, sequence start or next, and another button you can have a you can say that fan speed previous, sequence previous. So this is my start and next and my sequence. So in this case, the fan will be raise and lower. So first speed, second speed, third speed, and third speed, second speed, and first speed. So this is my raise and lower. On maybe on double tap, you can directly stop the fan. On this also, if you on the double tap, you can stop the fan. So you can, there are multiple choices you have for the fan speed. Or if you have the three buttons, you can have low on, low off, medium on, medium off, high on, high off. So this is all another way of doing the programming. So it's based on the user how he wants to do the fan control. It can be a very simple. So Mohammad Riyad says, can I press the fan button and then control the fan speed by up and down button? No, that is not possible. That is not possible. So there is a question from Ramesh: which driver is used for DALI in the control flow integration? So control flow integration, like if you see there are drivers available, simply look for the QSX driver, and you will get the required driver under the QSX. So make sure, because control flow is already compatible with Lutron, so you have to use a QSX driver for doing the integration. QSX. Any way to control DC fan? So Abhinav, like what happened, DC fans, you need to look for the 0-10 volt control fan, because there are drivers available, there are fan available in the market which is controlled by a 0-10 volt control. So for example, there is a brand name called Badass. So this Badass fan, if you take those fans can be controlled by a 0-10 volt signal. So simply use our 0-10 volt module, and seamlessly you can control the fan speed if you have the 0-10 volt signal. So that is another way of controlling the DC fan. Otherwise, there is no other way like to control, either 0-10 volt or maybe switching. That's it. Yes, in that case, the raise lower will work. Like if you have the 0-10 volt fan, then the raise and lower will work definitely. That will work. How we can integrate a Lutron with a Casa DG? So I am not sure whether the Casa DG has got developed the driver or not, but on the list we have got the Creston, we have got QSX work with Savant, the RTI, Elan. So these are the brands which they have already developed the driver. If I am not sure whether Casa DG has developed the driver, if they are not driver, you can approach the Casa DG. We are ready to share the information, and then definitely if they develop the driver, we can do the integration with Casa DG as well. Okay, so that was the thing. So I hope you got the point, like how to program this sequence. What is the use of sequence? So sequence can be created for the fan speed. It can be created for the multiple scenes. So for example, I want on one button, I want 2 scenes. So go to design, I got a go to programming, go to device, and now on this button, let me go to the washroom. Now imagine, let me clear the programming first here. Now imagine client want to have 2 scenes on this button. So I will simply choose a normal programming. I want to have 2 scenes. I want to have 2 scenes on this button. How to do that? So let me go to sequence, and I will create here welcome 1 and 2. So welcome 1 and 2. Okay. Now I'll create here a manual sequence. That is my welcome 1. W1 is my welcome 1. So I will just create whatever lights I want to turn on, whatever lights want to turn off. That is my welcome 1, and I will create a welcome 2. So control A, this is welcome 2, and then I will have some scenes here, maybe like some 50%, 80%, whatever I want. Okay, so that is my welcome scene number 2. Now go to device, go to program, single action, and choose a welcome scene start and next. Okay, so now press done, welcome 1, you press it again, welcome 2, press it again, welcome 1, press it again, welcome 2. Similarly, the same thing can be followed on second button. So welcome 1, welcome 2, relax 1, relax 2, or off 1, off 4, good night 1, good night 2, like that. So you can have multiple scenes on one button also. So this is another way of doing the programming, where people, if you want multiple scenes with less number of buttons, so people do these things also. Okay, so that is the use of the sequence. So by creating the sequence, you can do that. Okay, so I hope this point is clear. Let's break for 8 minutes. It's 1:52 now. Like I will start again at 2 o'clock. Thank you. Okay, so that was the thing, and oh, so okay, so that was the thing for the sequence. Now for the DMX, you can create the colors. Like if you go to equipments, and if you go to electrical panel room, I got a DMX interface. So if you want to have a DMX, you can go to edit color tables, and now you can create here different colors like green. So green means like maybe whatever colors you want, you can choose. You can drag it here, you can drag your triangle here, and then click on apply. So that is my green color. If you want blue, you can just put blue here. You can just have the blue color like this, drag the triangle and then apply. If you want yellow, you can just drag wherever you want, triangle like this, then click on apply. So this is my yellow color. So you can keep creating the colors, and now you can trigger this color by using the sequence. So go to program, go to sequence, create your automatic sequence like this, and then I can add here color changing sequence, color change sequence. And now you can create whatever color you want. Like you want green, you can choose a color. If you go to external area, like we got a color changing lights under the garden, I guess. So sorry, under pool lights, So now whatever colors we have just created here, so that will come here. So green color automatically after go to that 1 minute, you can add another step, maybe yellow color. So I can put it here as a yellow, and now here pull lights, choose a yellow color, right? So you can just keep adding the yellow color, and now this is my yellow color. So and again add another, if you want a blue, so you can have a blue color, then you can choose here blue color. So you can keep adding the steps and it will repeat, and then go to stop sequence. How you want to stop it, like multiple loops, or maybe after 1 hour or 2 hour 3 hour, that you can put. And whenever your sequence will stop, what you want, I want a pull lights to be at off level, so I will say off sequence is off, and now I have unchecked both positions, so it will not stop by the loops, it will not stop by the timing, it will stop by the keypad. So now I will go to keypad, I will program a button saying a color changing sequence. So go to any button, and I will put like color, and I will choose here as a single action. And now I will go to automatic sequence, color changing sequence, start and next. Okay, and maybe on the toggle, stop, I will say sequence stop, sequence stop, and that's it. So now I can start the sequence. It will go to green, blue, yellow continuously, and even if you want to stop it, I will press the button again, the sequence will stop. So this is how I can do the color changing sequence and control the DMX slides. So that was the use of your sequence. Then we got a shade presets. So shade presets, why to use it? First of all, shade presets is only for the Lutron shades. So go to Lutron shades here. Now if I want to make to shade to 65%, okay, if I choose the shades, I will not see any 65%. Here I can see here open preset 1 2 3. What is preset 1 2 3? That can be defined under a shade preset. So if you go here, shade presets, so preset number 1, let's suppose this is my 65%, so type this as a 65, and now type the position as 65, right? So now it will go to 65%. Now again, if you have 76, now I can put it here as 76%. So I'm creating the presets for the east curtain. I can have multiple presets for east, so you can have up to 28 presets, 29 presets for east curtain. So you can keep adding that. If you want to create a preset for north, you can choose shades and then keep adding the presets, and now you can define the level, at what level you want to make the shades. So now I am creating the presets like this. I'm just reducing it to only 5 presets. This is my 88%, and I will type here as 88. So I'm creating the presets, and now I can go to device, I can choose the shades, and now when I choose the east curtain, now I can see here all the preset which I have created, and now I can choose 65%. So this button will make the shades to go to at 65%. So this is how you can create the shade presets, and you can recall it when you want. So natural show is for the caterer, it is not available in international market. Vacation mode is like you can choose at during what time the vacation mode should be enabled. So like 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. and you can choose whatever lights are part of part of your vacation mode. External lights should be a part of vacation mode, so you can choose whatever lights you want to be a part of vacation mode. And once vacation mode is defined, vacation mode is defined, you can control the vacation mode by using a keypad button. So maybe this button is for the vacation mode, and what I will do is, instead of having single action, I will use a double tap, and I can choose a press and hold. So I will use this special uh, double tap. I will say enable the vacation mode. So choose here a vacation mode, enable, and then on press and hold, maybe for press and hold for some time, maybe like for 3 seconds, it's a disable, or vice versa. So you can choose a double tap and press and hold for activating the vacation mode. Once a vacation mode is activated, lights will randomly turn on and turn off based on the time clock. Like it will be like randomly turn on and turn off from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. So the question from Taha is, the Lutron shade will automatically know the level it need to be for the presets, or we need to define with length of the fabric. Okay, so how Lutron shade will know the open and close limit? So you can go to tools, you can go to shade limits. Okay, and now here what you can do, you can have each shades, you can rotate the shades the way you want, clockwise or clockwise, and make the shade open. Once shade is fully open, you can say it is my open limit. Okay, now it is saved. Now you can move the shade down. Okay, and now you say this is my close limit, so save properly, and now it will know what is 100%, what is 0%, what is 50%, what is 68%. Now it will come to know. So you have to set the limit, and the limit can be set from this option, like shade limits of Lutron, and then it will work properly. Okay, so this is how you can do the shade limits. I hope this point is clear now about the shades. Vacation mode we already activated. Now we also have a security mode. Okay, we also have the security mode. So security mode is again the same thing, similar to the vacation mode. Enter what to do. So whenever security system is triggered, what to do? So I can make the lights on and lock the zone. Okay, I can make the devices locked. So motor devices can be locked. So whenever security system trigger, I can lock the device, I can lock the zone level, and when exit, you can restore the light level. So you can see here there's an option called restored. Okay, so it will restore the last state. Okay, so that is very good. So entry, what should happen? Exit, what should happen? And exit, you can also set the timeout. After 10 minutes, the system will come out of the security mode, or you can also set a manual button for resetting the security mode. So basically, security mode, how to activate the security mode? Maybe I can do a device, I can go to device, I can use a contact closure input, I can program that is my security mode. Okay, this is my security mode, and here I will choose a dual action. When security system give a trigger, I will say security mode is enabled. Okay, and when it is open, I will say security mode is disabled. So this is how you can enable and disable the security mode, and you can trigger it very easily. So whatever you have programmed under security mode, that action will take place when you enable the security mode, and that action will take away when you disable the security mode. So this is very simple programming action which you can have in the this thing, security mode. Okay, so very important topic, how to give the remote access. So let me show you that video to you. So that video is quite long, so what I will do, I will share the link of this video so you can download the video from the WeTransfer link. Okay, so let me explain you what is required for the remote transfer. Okay, so Abhinav has got a question, like he said, like, can you give the example of the security mode? So maybe what the security mode, uh, let's assume uh, I got a wall. Okay, this is my boundary, and I have installed a laser sensor here. So uh, I have installed one laser sensor on this location. Okay, and I have installed a laser sensor on this location. Okay, so I have one laser sensor here, and I have one laser sensor. So whenever you have the beam, so whenever sensor is getting the signal, transmitter receiver, so it works. So whenever somebody try to come from the compound wall, the laser sensor break, and whenever it breaks, it will give me the a contact closure signal like this. So whenever the laser beam is break, I will give the contact closure signal, and this contact closure signal is connected to contact closure input of my keypad. So this is connected to CCI of keypad. Okay, and now whenever you get a contact closure input, you can treat that event as a security event. So somebody try to come from the compound and the sensor is stripped, and now you can flash the lights, you can run the hooter, or you can turn on the lights, you can lock all the keypads. So this could be the one of the example for security trigger, like or if any glass door sensor is breaked. Okay, so somebody has broken the glass of the window, something like that. So you can trip a sensor and you can utilize that for some kinds of triggering some kind of events. Yeah, it's a just a contact closure input, and then the security system will take some action, like we can do the flashing of lights, we can lock the devices, we can do something with that contact closure input. Okay, so now let me go to that video. So first of all, what you can do in the remote transfer, you will be able to change the program, you can transfer the program, you can take a backup copy of the program from the client. So these are the three main things you can do in the remote transfer. What you cannot do, you cannot activate the device online, you cannot replace the device online. So these are the things which you cannot do online, right? So activation is not possible, and replacing the device is not possible by using the remote transfer. So changes in the programming, transfer of the programming, and the download of the program, taking the backup from the customer processor, that is the three main action which you can do via the remote transfer. So how to do that? First of all, so first thing, you so in this case, what you have to do is you have to set up. So when you set up a system from Lutron, from your account, when you create any program, so you will be logging as a pro installer mode. So you have to log in as a pro installer. Pro installer means you are the Lutron distributor, you are a Lutron distributor, that is called as Lutron Pro. Yeah, Hido, you will not able to hear the video. Let me explain you how to do that. Okay, so now if you see here, the customer is log inside the app. So I have some problem. Uh, so let's assume the client is facing some problem, and the client says, can you do the troubleshooting of my house? Okay, so I said, okay, no problem. So give me the SS. So the customer will go log in inside the Lutron app. He will go to the help, and now he will share the SS, right? So now you need to tell him your my Lutron email ID. You have to tell him your account my Lutron email ID, right? So now I told him the email ID. So by mistake, if he put a wrong email ID, then the system will tell there is no Lutron account associated with this email ID. So I need to tell him the right email ID. Okay, so unrecognized email, right? So now I correct myself, I given the proper spelling, and now I give the correct name, and now customer will give me the access. He can give me the access for 24 hours or permanently for 1 month. He can do that access, right? So now permanent access I am getting. Now this access can be shared with my colleague also. So for example, today I'm working, tomorrow my colleague will be working on the project, right? So I can share that access with another people also, right? So this is how I can do. So now once I tell him the my Lutron email ID, so he has given me the access. So I log in into my Lutron account, which is my pro installer account. Okay, so once I log in under the homework QS, I log in, and then immediately I will see the database. You can see here the first line, I can see the customer account here, so I can click on that. I click on that, and now I have the access to his system. So now you can see here I'm assessing his system, and now I can do and now I can do some troubleshooting. I can do some troubleshooting now. As I mentioned earlier, you can also share the access with other people. So you can click on these three dots and you can share the access with other programmer also. So if my colleague is working on the job, I can share the access with that person as well. Okay, so now this is how I can share the access using the Lutron app. Now this is how you can do the troubleshooting with the app. Now I'm showing you how I can assess this. So Dennis has a question that does it has an email notification that admin support is assessing my client system? You will so if you see here, there is no email alert, but he will be able to see what people are assessing his system. Now currently, earlier it was a Chris Yorgi, but now the Chris Yorgi has shared the access with Gerard. So now you can see here that person has shared the access, so the customer can see who all the person who can assess his system. So this is how like he can track who is assessing the, but there is no email alert for that. Now I'm showing you how you can give the access via the cloud, like from the software. Now you have to open the MyLutron account. You open a MyLutron account. You simply create simply go to tools, and now simply click on cloud sync. Okay, and then click on restore from the cloud. The moment you click on restore from the cloud, the first database you will see on the list is the client. Now you can see here Yorgi France. So that was the database like which client has shared recently, right? So once the client has given you the access, you can see that project in this list, and now you can click on that, and now you can download the program. So I click on that, I download the program. Now you can do whatever changes you want, and now you can transfer the program again. Here it is about to start a remote transfer. So yes, say yes. If you say yes, now it will start the transfer over. So now you can see here transferring over secure remote connection. So now you can see here the program is transferred over internet from cloud to the processor. So I have done the changes. I am transferring the program. Sridharan, you got a question? You're on self mute, Sridharan. Okay. So if during the transfer, if you lose the database or if your connection is gone, so the system will keep running in on the older database. Okay, system will keep running on the older database. So this is how it will happen. So if everything goes well, so new changes will be transferred and now it will work properly. So this is how the remote system will work. I will summarize quickly. First thing, the client has to give you the SS, so you need to tell him the my Lutron account email ID, so he will type that email ID, give you the SS. You will open your my Lutron, you will open a Lutron account under the pro installer mode, and you will see that database on the first line, and you can access that via app, or you can simply open the software with your login credentials. So make sure whatever email access you have used, so that will match. So you can see here on the top right corner there is a cloud sync, right? So you can see here what account you are using for the MyLutron account. So this has to be matched with the SS level. So this is how you can do. Then go to tools and then cloud sync, and then you can do the remote transfer. So you can do the programming changes, you can take a backup, and you can do the transfer of the program. So these are the three main things which you can do remotely by using this remote transfer application. So Dennis has a question. As it's a cloud-based database, transferring of the DB to my PC, is there a port need to be open? Let me check that. I don't know the answer for this. Let me share that port number, like there are the specific port on which the transfer will happen. So let me share that document with you. I'm not aware that like what ports need to be open for that. Okay, so let me. So this is about the remote transfer. Uh, Diagnostic, I already explained you. Uh, you can just verify the devices. You can uh, identify the loads you have. Transfer is okay, program is okay, design. Uh, then there is a tab for setting the low end, like so that your light should not flicker. So low end that we can do. Where program, that is fine. Like you can track from where it is getting the command. Yeah, I will share that video with you, the how to transfer remotely. That video I am going to share with you guys. Currently the Coolmaster, if you have the Coolmaster uh, for HVAC integration, the Coolmaster will not work on the app, but it will work on the thermostat. So that is a like things which you need to know. The soon we will come up with the app also on which the everything will work. So currently the HVAC will only work on the Lutron app. So here I have just created a small database for controlling the So Coolmaster will Lutron app. Currently, the Lutron app will not work on the Coolmaster, so that there is a new update for the app is coming on which the Coolmaster will work on the app. Currently, you have to have a Coolmaster. Simply add a Coolmaster by using equipment tab. So I have added one Coolmaster in the EP room. So add a third-party HVAC, name it as Coolmaster. Put the controller setting here. What is the IP address of that? So like I'm putting in the same IP range 192.168.1.67. Okay, and then you got here zone name, unique ID number you can have, or like 101, whatever ID they give, and then you can choose the operating modes, like whether want cooling, auto mode, whatever modes you want, fan mode, and then fan speed, what fan speed you have, like low, medium, high, that you can choose as per the mode. Okay, and then simply go to controls, add a palladium thermostat. Add a palladium thermostat. Okay, so and then you have to assign this thermostat to the zone. So if you click on assign, so you have to go to remote zone. For whenever you have the Coolmaster, make sure you choose a remote zone and then click on assign, and now you assign the HVAC zone of the Coolmaster here. So one Coolmaster zone is for HVAC I have added here. So now it's added. So now the whatever AC you have in electrical panel room, that will be controlled by this thermostat. So you have linked this thermostat to EP zone number 1. Similarly, if you want to have more zones, so now you can see here like the balcony door. Now if you have the balcony door, right? So let's assume you got a balcony door contact. So whenever the balcony is closed, okay, balcony is closed, the balcony door contact is closed, means your balcony is open. Okay, so if your balcony is open, then what I can do is I will come here and then I will say here disable or make the HVAC off. So here operating mode I should have, let me put at a low mode, or I can have the cooling mode. So here I should choose maybe the temperature set point. I can make it at 27 degree. I can change the temperature setting. And if I put in the zone tab, in the HVAC zone tab, if I have the off level, off level is not here, and operating mode off. Okay, so if you go to programming here, now whenever your balcony is open, okay, so I can program here the mode should be off, right? So the moment your balcony is open, so I will make the HVC off, and then whenever balcony is closed, I will say it will go to the a set point temperature. It will go to the cooling mode and whatever set temperature you want. So in that way, you can disable the HVAC when you open the balcony door contact, and that door contact should be connected to contact closure input. So that is one of the example what we can do with a contact closure integration. Okay, so that was for the HVAC part. Any other questions? If you off the HVAC from the app, the fan still on. If you go to off mode, like when there is the off mode, the fan will go to off level. Fan will be off. It will not be running. So in the off mode, it should be off. Though it is showing as low, it will go to off level in the operating mode. Can we control the Palladium thermostat from the app? So currently the app control is not there, but in 1 or 2 months, the Cool Master zones can be controlled from the app. Currently it is not visible on the app, but it is under testing. So maybe in 1 month that feature will be available. So Cool Master zones can be controlled from Lutron app directly. That is coming. Okay guys, that's what I got here. There are some setting under tools and project setting where you can explore something like the programming wise, what is the default button type, single action toggle. You can choose the fade time by default fade times. There's a good setting called allow raise from off, lower from off. So that thing also you can program. Do not raise from off is a very nice feature. So in the under the master raise lower, you should say do not raise from off, so it will work properly. So allow raise to off, lower to off. So this is another things. We have load settings, uh, like first on first off. So these are the very good project setting you can just explore in this. Different temperature during day. So for that you have to go to schedule, go to thermostat, and you can create a schedule here like Monday. So you can add multiple schedules uh, by using this. And now you can set the temperature at 6 a.m. what temperature you want, 8 temperature what do you want. So you can have a multiple schedules for the day, and then you can activate that schedule the way you want, right? So these are the schedules available, and you can choose the temperature, and you can trigger those schedule based on the keypad or by using the thermostat. Enable and disabling schedule also possible by using the thermostat. So that is the for the temperature control. So is it possible to send up a pop-up message for any emergency number for the emergency? So that kind of integration, typically we use a third-party system, and by using that, you can have that notification part. So that is done through the third party, not from Lutron directly. So Lutron app give you the pop-up indication for the low battery. So if your sensor battery is low, your wireless keypad battery are low, in that case you will get that notification, but not for the emergency like somebody has happened. So that kind of emergency we don't give the notifications. Okay guys, thank you very much for the timing. Can you schedule the shades from the app? Yes, you should be able to do that. Like if you go to time clocks events, you should be able to add the shades as well as the lights on the time clock. Can we disable the schedule from the geofencing? No, the scheduling cannot be disabled from the geofencing. It has to be done through the keypad buttons or button presses. Okay, so for last 3 days, I will share the recording with you. I will share the remote transfer video with you, and I will also share the how to reset the processor. These are the things which I'm going to share with you for the programming. And if possible, let me share one more session for the programming if you have any question in that. Okay, so thank you very much for the timing. I hope you enjoy the session for these 3 days, and see you in the next training. Thank you so much, guys. If you want any specific thing, let me know via email. You can also share the programming. So Yakub Mullah, can you explain about the wired sensor program without the QSM? So I already shown you, like, simply go to the equipments, assign your sensor to QSC IO. So if I go to the QSC IO, you can see here I have assigned that input to the garage sensor. I have assigned to the QSC IO. Now simply go to program and simply go to the occupancy. Now your garage sensor will work. It will shown as a occupancy sensor, though it's a third party, or maybe Lutron sensor. It will show as under the occupancy. You can assign any sensor to the, and then it will come under the occupancy mode. So this is how you can integrate the third party sensor or Lutron sensor on QSC IO or WCI without QSM. We don't have any training section tomorrow. Today is the last day for the training. For the fixtures connected to UPS, online, offline, what to be done? I didn't get that question. Like, let me just unmute you. Yeah, please go ahead. You are on self mute now.
For the fixtures which are connected, if there's an UPS, कोई थोड़े बहुत लाइट्स जो यूपीएस से कनेक्टेड है घर पे, अब उसको सेम मॉड्यूल में उसका चैनल ऐड कर सकते हैं कि अलग से उसका मॉड्यूल लेना चाहिए हमें?
So those lights are DALI lights or switching module? Like, what type of lights you have?
DALI lights.
So for DALI lights, you don't have to do anything. So the power to that fixture should be given from the because power it should be from the UPS directly. So what will happen whenever power goes? So DALI module will take the light to 100%, and then because in the DALI module, what happened? You give only the dimming wires to the DALI. The power is coming directly from the MCB.
And regarding fans?
So fan you want on the UPS?
Yes.
So in that case, the power to the fan should be coming from the UPS, and the processor and the module also should be from the UPS. Then only it will work. Otherwise, no. So
in
that
case
complete module.
In case of DALI, if it's only DALI fixtures, does the processor also require the UPS power?
So ideally, what we do is, like, the processor and the control power of the modules, control power, that should be from the UPS always.
Okay. What is the wattage of, what is the kilowatt you suggest for a UPS, for a system, for a particular system?
Okay, so for DALI, we consider that module as a like 50 watt standby power of the DALI module. Then we have the list of the, like, our processor will take maybe like 50 watts. So we have the list of the control power, like which module consume what. So based on that, maybe like if you want to give only control power, then maybe like 2 kilowatt of UPS is more than enough. Only to give the control power. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And remaining the raw power should be coming for the lights. Raw power can be used.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much.